Hello everyone, and welcome to my laboratory. Me and my assistants will show you the sexiest organ in the body. When I'm talking about the sexiest organ, I'm talking about the one up north. Get your encephalon out of the gutter.
Now, the brain isn't classified as just one lump of cells. There are three larger divisions of the brain. The forebrain is responsible for higher functions, the midbrain is a processing station for stimuli, and the hindbrain is responsible for basic bodily functions.
Within the structure of the hindbrain, the cerebellum is responsible for fine motor movements. A great example of fine motor movement is sign language. This is the pons and it regulates respiration, movement, sleeping, waking, and dreaming. Lastly, the medulla oblongata controls respiration and heartbeat and is responsible of sending neurotransmissions to and from the brain.
The midbrain is the smallest section of the brain and controls visual and auditory information. It also consists of the reticular formation. The reticular formation is a network of neurons that screens sensory information and alerts the brain to dangerous situations.
Lastly is the largest part of the brain, the forebrain. It consists of two major divisions, the cerebral cortex and the limbic system. The limbic system contains the thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, and the hippocampus. The cerebral cortex is comprised of 8 lobes.
The limbic system is comprised of the thalamus, which is the master controller of the brain. It also includes the amygdala, which is in charge of the regulation and production of emotion, as well as the hypothalamus, which is in charge of hunger, thirst, and sex. Lastly, the hippocampus is in charge of forming and retrieving memories.
A small structure in the brain that connects both of the hemispheres is called the corpus callosum. Its job is to allow the two halves of the brain to communicate with each other.
There's 4 pairs of lobes, 2 frontal lobes, 2 parietal lobes,
2 temporal lobes,
and 2 occipital lobes.
Next is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe handles motor control, speech production via the Broca's area, higher functions such as memory and manipulating memories for storage, as well as higher thought processes such as thought, personality, and emotion.
The parietal lobe is in charge of receiving and interpreting bodily sensations such as pain, pressure, touch, and temperature.
The temporal lobe is associated with hearing, language comprehension in the Wernicke's area, memory, and some emotional control.
Lastly is the occipital lobe. This lobe is in charge of visual perception as well as vision itself.
Thank you for exploring the brain with us. show you the sexiest organ in the body.
And 2 occipital lobes.
It's not that bad.